Welcome to our channel. Today, I want to speak directly to the part of you that feels tired. Tired of overthinking. Tired of imagining the worst. Tired of not sleeping at night. Tired of pretending everything is okay, when inside, you're not okay. This is not just another motivational video. This is a rescue mission for your peace. Because whether you're rich or poor, young or old, strong or broken, everyone worries. We all live with invisible fears. We all carry secret what-ifs in our heads. What if I fail? What if they leave me? What if something bad happens to my parents, my child, my career, my health? What if I lose everything I love? And the worst part? Even if you smile outside, inside, your mind keeps spinning. It never shuts up. And slowly, it eats your life. But today, we end that cycle. Because this video is not just about understanding worry, it's about defeating it. It's about learning the art of worrying less and living more. And as we go through each truth, you'll feel it. You'll feel the weight in your chest slowly disappear. You'll feel your thoughts slow down. You'll feel like you're in control again. This isn't just for your peace. This video will also help you learn English in the most powerful way, by listening deeply to real emotion, storytelling, and clear thoughts. So, if you want to improve your English and your life, watch till the end, subscribe to our channel, and most importantly, give yourself the gift of peace. Because when your mind is calm, your life becomes clear. Let's begin. Truth 1. Most of what you worry about will never happen. Let's start with the most shocking truth, the one that can instantly change your mind. Almost everything you're worrying about is not real. Not just not important, not even real. Think about it. Go back to last week, last month, or even last year. How many things did you spend hours worrying about? How many of them actually happened? If you're like most people, the answer is almost none. Scientific fact. A study from Cornell University found that 85% of the things people worry about never happen. And of the 15% that do happen, most people say they handled it better than they expected. So what does that mean? It means worry is imagination used against you. It's a movie your brain plays, and you believe it. Your brain shows you a breakup that hasn't happened, a rejection that hasn't happened, a failure that hasn't happened, a disaster that hasn't happened, and yet, you suffer as if it's already happening. That's the trap. You're not reacting to life. You're reacting to your imagination. Let me tell you a real story. Clara was 27. She worked in a tech company in London. Every day, she walked into the office with one fear in her chest. I'm going to lose my job. She checked her emails 20 times a day. Every time her boss called her in, her heart started racing. Even when she did good work, her brain whispered, "They'll find a reason to fire you. You're not enough." She lost weight. She lost sleep. She lost joy. She worried for 3 years straight. One day, her boss called her into a meeting. Clara thought, "This is it. I'm finished." But the boss said, "Clara, we've been watching your performance. You're one of our most consistent and valuable employees. We're promoting you 3 years of anxiety, destroyed in 1 minute." She cried in the bathroom, not because she was happy, but because she realized how much of her life she had wasted worrying about a future that never came. The lesson. Worry steals your now because of a fake future. And what's even worse, you miss your actual life while preparing for pain that may never arrive. The people who love you are in front of you. The opportunities are around you, but you don't see them because you're too busy preparing for pain. And what is worry, really? It's the brain trying to protect you. But you don't need to fear your thoughts. You need to see them as what they really are. Just thoughts. Not truth mini practice. Say this when you start worrying. Is this happening? Or am I imagining it? Can I prove this is true? Or am I just scared? Right now, in this moment. Am I safe? You'll realize something powerful. In this moment, you are safe. The problem isn't real. The pain hasn't come. You are okay. Your brain is a beautiful machine, but it's not perfect. It tries to protect you, even when you're not in danger. So now you know. Most of what you worry about will never happen. Don't waste your only life trying to survive a future that's only a shadow. Breathe. You're safe. You're here. You're okay. Let's move forward and set your mind free. Truth 2. Worry is just a story, not a fact. Let's go deeper now. Because once you understand this truth, really understand it, your entire relationship with worry will change forever. Worry is not a fact. It's just a story. A story your mind tells you, and you believe it without question. So what is a story? It's a sentence. It's a thought. It's a what if. It's a scene your brain creates with no evidence, but with full emotion. It sounds like this. What if they don't like me? What if I embarrass myself? What if I get sick? What if something bad happens? Each of those is a story, not a reality, not a fact. But here's the painful part. The brain doesn't need truth. It only needs repetition. Repeat a lie enough, and your body starts to believe it's real. That's how worry becomes your prison. Not because the future is scary, but because the story you've been telling yourself is terrifying. But here's the twist. The same mind that writes a scary story can also write a peaceful one. And that's where your power begins. You're not just the character in the story. You're also the author. And the moment you realize this, you can take the pen back from fear and write something else. Let me show you something that will stay in your mind forever. Jonah was a young man who had never flown on a plane. Just thinking about flying made his chest tight. The idea of being in the sky, inside a metal machine. He thought he would die. He got invited to speak at a global event in Singapore. It was the biggest opportunity of his life. But he declined. Why? Because of a story. His mind said, what if the plane crashes? What if I panic? What if I scream and embarrass myself? What if I can't breathe? What if I never see my parents again? Every what if was a paragraph. Every thought was a chapter, until it became a full book titled, This Flight Will Kill Me. But none of it was true. There was no emergency, no danger, just a story, written by anxiety. A friend sat him down and said, Jonah, tell me something. Do you have any actual evidence this plane will crash? He said no. Do you have any medical condition that makes flying dangerous? No. Then here's the truth. You're not afraid of flying. You're afraid of a story in your head, Jonah cried, because for the first time he understood. He wasn't running from danger. He was running from a thought. He took the flight. And here's the best part. He looked out the window, saw the clouds, and whispered, none of it was real. The fear, the panic, the lies, they were just pages in a story that never came true. He gave that speech, he changed lives, and he never let worry control his story again. So what's the lesson? You don't suffer because life is painful. You suffer because the story in your mind says it will be. And if you don't question the story, you live inside it forever. You become the victim of your own imagination. But here's what nobody teaches you. You have the power to edit the script. You can say no, I reject this version. I choose a better story instead of, what if I fail? Try, what if I surprise myself? Instead of, what if I lose everything? Try, what if I learn to handle anything? Instead of, what if they leave me? Try, what if I never needed someone to complete me? Thoughts are not facts, they're just suggestions. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You can listen and still say no. Your brain will suggest fear. It will suggest disaster. It will suggest panic. But you can choose peace. Not because the world is perfect, but because your story is stronger than your worry. Imagine this. Every time a thought comes into your head that makes you worry, instead of believing it, you become curious. You pause. You breathe. And you ask, is this a fact? Or is this just a fear? Because the moment you question the story, you begin to escape it. You are the author. Don't let fear write your chapters. From today, choose better stories. Peaceful ones, empowering ones, true ones. Because the most dangerous thing in the world is not a problem. It's a lie you never challenged. Truth 3. You're not solving a problem. You're replaying pain. Let me ask you something you've probably never asked yourself. When you're worrying, are you solving something or suffering again and again? Because here's a truth most people never hear in their entire life. Worry disguises itself as action, but it's actually repetition. Let me explain. When something painful happens in your life, a breakup, an insult, a failure, a rejection, your brain records it. And instead of letting it go, it replays it again and again and again, like a song stuck on loop. And what do you call that loop? Worry. You think you're figuring things out. You think you're being responsible. You think, if I think about it more, maybe I'll feel better. But what you're actually doing is reopening an old wound over and over and over again. And just like a real wound, if you never let it heal, it becomes infected. The dangerous illusion. Worry feels like you're in control, but you're actually in a prison. You're going in circles, not forward. Absolutely. Here's the best, most powerful example for the truth. You're not solving a problem. You're replaying pain. Imagine a wall clock in your home stopped working 2 years ago. You already replaced the batteries. You even bought a new one. But for some reason, you never took the broken clock off the wall. Every time you pass by, you look at it. Even though you know it doesn't work, you still glance at it, still get confused, still feel a little irritated. It's not telling the right time. But you're still giving it your attention. That's what replaying pain looks like. The moment has passed. The damage is done. But your mind keeps going back, again and again, as if staring at it will somehow fix it. But it doesn't. All it does is waste your focus, confuse your direction, and take you away from the present. Until you finally decide, this clock is broken. It's not helping me anymore. It's time to take it down. That's the shift. You're not solving anything by watching it. You're just keeping the pain on your wall. Let it go, take it down, and move forward in real time. The insight. Worry becomes dangerous when the situation is already over, but your mind keeps dragging you back to it. It's like this. The fire is gone. but the smoke is still inside your lungs. And every time you think about it again, you breathe it in, and it chokes you. Not because it's happening again, but because you never stopped reliving it. You cannot think your way out of emotional pain. You have to feel it, release it, and let it pass. Thinking is not healing. In fact, overthinking is often just emotional avoidance. You don't want to feel the real pain. So you distract yourself by thinking about it again and again. You say, "I'm trying to figure it out." But really, you're trying to avoid letting go. Worry pretends to be your friend. But it's actually your past, wearing a future costume. It says, "Let's fix this." But really, it just wants to replay the pain. So you never move on. You don't need another day of thinking. You need one moment of courage to say, "I'm done thinking about this. I choose peace over understanding. I choose freedom over control. I choose me over this memory." You've suffered long enough. You've asked yourself the same question 500 times. You've played the same scenes in your mind like an emotional horror film. But now you know the truth. You're not solving a problem. You're replaying pain. And every time you do it, you're not moving forward. You're going in circles. So stop asking, "Why did it happen?" And start asking, "What do I need to heal and move forward?" Because you deserve a life that's not stuck on repeat. Truth 4. You can't control everything, but you can control what you focus on. Let's step outside the human mind for a moment. Let's stop talking about thoughts, fears, pain, or heartbreak. And let's talk about a laser. Yes, a laser. Because the way a laser works is the exact same way worry works in your life. Let's understand how a laser is created. A laser is made by focusing all the light into one single direction. A normal light bulb sends its light everywhere. But a laser concentrates its light in one tight beam. And that's what makes it powerful. And here's the twist. Your attention is the same. Wherever you put your attention, you create power. You can focus on everything that's wrong, everything that's uncertain, everything that could go wrong. And just like a laser, your attention will make it stronger, sharper, and more intense. That's what worry does. It's the result of focused attention on what you can't control. And just like a laser, that focus becomes so powerful, it burns through your peace, your confidence, and your happiness. But here's the thing most people never realize. The problem is not the situation. The problem is your focus. You're shining your mental laser on the wrong place. Imagine a beautiful plant sitting on your windowsill. Next to it, there's a wall, and on that wall, you see a big, dark shadow. The shadow looks scary. It moves when the wind blows. It seems like something dangerous is nearby. But the truth is, it's just the shadow of the plant. There's nothing dangerous. But your focus is in the wrong place. You're staring at the shadow instead of focusing on the real thing, the plant, the light, the truth. That's what worry does. It makes you stare at the shadow of the future instead of the truth of the present. And just like the shadow on the wall, your worry moves, grows, and changes shape. But none of it is real. It's all coming from your focus. You can't stop shadows from existing, but you can stop staring at them. And in life, you can't control every problem, every outcome, or every possibility, but you can always choose. Do I focus on fear, or do I focus on what I can do today? Do I focus on panic, or on peace? Do I stare at the storm, or do I build my shelter? Worry is not the enemy. Your focus is. because your mind can't think about everything at the same time. So when you focus on what you can't control, you automatically lose sight of what you can. And the more you stare at the shadows, the less you see the light. So from today, don't try to control everything. Control your focus. That's your real superpower. Truth 5. Worry steals time from your life, but never gives solutions back. Let's now stop talking about your emotions and start talking about your economy. Let's talk about the most valuable currency you will ever own in your life: your time. Because here's the truth: most people never calculate. Worry is the most expensive thing you spend, and the return is always zero. Imagine this. You walk into a store. You give the shopkeeper 10 hours of your life, and in return, you get nothing. No solutions, no peace, no answers. Just more confusion. Would you ever go back to that store? Of course not. But that's what worry is: a mental shop that charges you hours of your life, but gives you no solutions in return. Now let's talk about something you'll never forget: a machine. Imagine you have a beautiful, complex machine sitting in your home. It's your favorite machine. You need it every day. One morning, it breaks. You don't know why. It just stopped working. Now imagine this. You spend the next 5 days not fixing it, not asking a technician, not reading the manual, but just staring at the machine, worrying. You walk around it. You sit next to it. You imagine all the ways it could be broken. You think, what if it never works again? What if I broke it? What if I need to replace it and I can't afford it? But you never even touch it. You never open it. You never take a step. You never act. All you do is think. That's what worry looks like. You're not fixing the problem. You're just sitting in front of it, wasting your most valuable resource: time. And that's the most dangerous truth about worry. It feels like you're working, but you're not. You're just spending your time, spending your focus, spending your energy, spending your emotions. And at the end of the day, the problem is still there. Nothing changed, except you're more tired and more lost. Worry gives you the illusion of effort, but no results. It's a fake job your brain gives you so you feel like you're doing something. But you're not solving. You're spinning. And time, once spent, never comes back. If I'm not taking action, then I'm just wasting time. If I'm not moving forward, then I'm just going in circles. If I'm not solving, then I'm just suffering. Don't give your precious minutes to thoughts that don't serve you. Because one day, you'll look back and realize, I didn't lose my life to pain. I lost it to worrying about pain. Truth 6. The present moment is always safer than your imagination. Let me ask you something very important. Right now, at this exact moment, are you in danger? Are you falling from a building? Are you being chased by a lion? Is someone screaming in your face? Most likely, no, you're sitting, listening, breathing. So now the question is, if nothing dangerous is happening right now, then why are you feeling unsafe? Why does your body feel like it's in a war when your environment is completely calm? The answer is shocking. Because you left the present moment. You're not here. You're in your imagination. And that's where the danger lives. The truth: your imagination is more dangerous than your reality. Let me show you how. There's a mountain in the Pacific region. It's an ancient volcano. For centuries, people feared it. Locals believed it would erupt again, violently, destructively, just like in the old days. The government placed warnings. Tourism dropped. People moved away. For 10 years, they expected it to blow at any moment. Guess what happened? Nothing, not a single eruption, not even smoke. But during those 10 years, fear did what the volcano never did. It destroyed lives. Businesses collapsed. Homes were sold at cheap prices. Tourism dried up. Children grew up scared of a future that never came. The mountain was silent, but people's imagination was loud. What does this teach us? It's not the mountain that's the problem. It's your mind's version of the mountain. Worry is the same. Your present is calm, but your brain creates a lava-filled future that feels real, even when it isn't. So you suffer, you panic, you stop living, not because of what's happening, but because of what might happen. When you leave the present moment, you enter a world with no control, no safety, no peace, no reality. That's where anxiety is born. That's where fear grows. That's where panic takes over. And guess what? The present moment is the only place where peace actually exists. You can't feel calm in the future. You can't fix the past. You can only breathe. Right now. Whenever your brain pulls you into fear, ask yourself, what's happening right now? What can I hear? What can I see? Am I safe? These questions bring you home. They pull you out of imagination and back into your body, back into the only place that ever existed. Now, your body knows how to be calm. Your breath knows how to guide you. Your life is not happening in the past or future. It's happening here. So next time your mind says, what if something bad happens? Answer with this. Right now, I am safe. Right now, I am okay. Right now is all I need. Come back to now, because now is peace. Truth 7. Peace is not a gift. It's a skill. Let's destroy a lie that keeps millions of people stuck. People think peace is a feeling that comes from outside. If I had more money, I'd feel calm. If I got the job, the partner, the home, I'd stop worrying. But peace doesn't come from your conditions. It comes from your conditioning. Let's explain this in a way you've never heard before. Imagine someone throws you into a swimming pool. You don't know how to swim. You panic. You splash. You scream. You sink. Why? Because your body has never learned how to stay calm in water. Now imagine the same thing happens. But this time, you know how to swim. What happens? You float. You breathe. You trust your body. You move through the water with confidence. Same pool, same situation, different result. Why? Because one version of you was untrained, and the other version had a skill. Now here's the twist. Life is the pool. Worry is the panic. Peace is the skill. If you've never trained your mind, then every problem will feel like drowning. But if you train your mind, through awareness, breath, presence, and daily practice, then even when storms come, you don't panic. You float. You trust. You breathe. You survive. The truth no one talks about. Worry is automatic. Peace is intentional. You don't have to try to worry. Your brain does it naturally. But peace? That's something you must build like a muscle. Daily, slowly, with discipline. Your peace practice might look like 5 minutes of silence every morning, writing down your fears every night, taking 10 deep breaths before every decision, disconnecting from news, noise, and negativity, walking in nature, barefoot present, speaking kinder words to yourself every single day. You don't find peace. You practice peace until it becomes your nature. Don't wait for peace to knock on your door. You're the builder. Start small, stay consistent, show up for yourself, because in a world full of noise, peace is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And it's a skill you can learn, just like swimming. Train your peace. So when life throws you into the deep end, you don't drown. You float. Truth 8. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. Let's slow down and ask the question that most people will never ask in their lifetime. If I have a thought, does that mean the thought is me? Let's go deeper. You're sitting in silence, and suddenly a thought comes. What if I fail? Then another. What if everyone laughs at me? Then another. I'm not good enough. Now pause. Where did that thought come from? Did you choose it? Did you create it? No. It just appeared like a pop-up ad in your brain. But here's the magic most people never realize. If you can see the thought, then you are not the thought. You are the one watching it. You are not the voice in your head. You are the awareness behind the voice. Let me explain this with a mind-blowing example that will stay with you forever. Imagine your mind is a train station. Every few seconds, a new train, thought, pulls in. You're not ready. What if this goes wrong? Everyone's ahead of you. You're going to fail. You can't do this. Each of these is a train trying to pick you up and take you somewhere. But here's the question. Do you have to get on every train? No, you can stand on the platform. You can watch the train come and let it go. No argument, no panic, no fighting, just awareness. You observe it. You don't become it. That's the secret to inner peace. Most people don't know they're at the station. They think they are the train. So when a negative thought arrives, they jump on. They write it for hours, for days, for years, until they're emotionally exhausted and lost in a place they never wanted to go. All because they didn't know. I can watch the thought without becoming it. The illusion of identity. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not your jealousy. You are not your anxiety. These are just trains passing through, and every time you choose not to get on, you're getting stronger, wiser, calmer. You're becoming the master of your mind, not the victim of it. I see you, thought, but I'm not going with you. I hear you, fear, but I'm not taking the ride. I'm not the storm. I am the sky that holds it. From now on, be the observer, be the platform. Let the trains pass, because thoughts are not facts. They're invitations. You decide which ones deserve your attention and which ones you let go. Truth 9. Your mind was built for survival, not for peace. This truth is something most people never hear, even in the deepest self-help books or spiritual talks. But once you hear it, you'll finally understand. It's not my fault that I worry, but it is my responsibility to rise above it. Here's the truth. Your brain was not designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. Imagine you're making toast in the morning. You put the bread in. You get distracted. The toast burns a little. And suddenly, beep, beep, beep. The smoke detector goes crazy. You panic. You wave a towel. You open the window. The toast wasn't even burning that much, just a little smoke. But the alarm screamed like it was the end of the world. Now here's the truth. The smoke detector is oversensitive by design. It would rather warn you unnecessarily 1,000 times than miss the one time there's a real fire. And guess what? Your mind works the exact same way. Worry is your brain's version of that smoke alarm. It says, what if you fail? What if they leave? What if something bad happens? Even if nothing dangerous is happening. Even if there's just a little emotional smoke. Your brain panics, alarms, screams, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it was built to protect you. And that's the ancient part of your brain still doing its job. So what do? We don't destroy the smoke alarm. We learn to listen without panic. We say, "Thank you for the alert, but I've checked, and there is no real danger." We let the signal sound, but we don't let it control us. The evolution trap. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors needed this. They lived in jungles. Every sound could be a predator. Every mistake could be death. So their brains evolved to always assume something bad is coming. Fast forward to now. You're in your room. Your phone buzzes. Your boss texts you. Someone looks at you weird, and your modern brain reacts with ancient fear. Even though there's no tiger, no danger, just thoughts. Now you understand the game. Your brain is trying to keep you alive, not peaceful. But you're not in the jungle anymore. You're not in survival mode. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to say, "This is not a fire. This is just toast." And suddenly, the alarm becomes a whisper. And the mind that once scared you becomes your friend. Final truth. 10. Worry is the opposite of trust. And trust is the beginning of peace. Let me ask you something most people never think about. What do you believe about life? Not about your job, not about people, not about the past, but about life itself. Because at the heart of all your worry is not fear, it's distrust. You worry because you believe something deep inside. I can't handle it. Things won't work out. The universe is against me. I'm not protected. If I stop controlling everything, everything will fall apart. That's not fear. That's a lack of trust. And that's the core of worry. You don't worry about what you trust. If you trusted your future, you wouldn't fear it. If you trusted yourself, you wouldn't doubt every move. If you trusted life, you wouldn't try to control it 24/7. Let me now give you the final example. A non-person, universal and unforgettable one. Imagine a farmer plants a seed deep into the soil. He covers it with dirt. He waters it. He walks away. Now, for the next 7 days, nothing happens above the surface. No leaves, no signs of growth, just silence. But the farmer does not panic. He doesn't dig up the soil every morning saying, "Why isn't it growing? What if the seed is dead? What if I did something wrong?" Why? Because he trusts the process. He trusts the soil. He trusts time. He trusts the laws of nature. And he knows growth is happening, even if I can't see it. Now look at your own life. You plant your effort. You plant your dreams. You plant your healing. You water it with consistency. You show up with love. But after a few days of silence, you panic. What if I'm not good enough? What if nothing is changing? What if I never heal? What if it's all for nothing? And without realizing it, you dig up the seed. You interrupt the process. You suffocate your own growth. Not because life failed you, but because you didn't trust it. Worry is the noise that comes from a heart that forgot how to trust. Trust what? Not just God, not just the universe, not just some higher power, but trust yourself, your resilience, your mind, your strength, your ability to survive anything that comes. Because here's something no one told you growing up. You've already survived 100% of your worst days. You've already healed more than you realize. You've already handled more than you give yourself credit for. So from now on, don't try to predict every outcome. Don't try to control every future. Don't try to understand every pain. Just trust. Whatever comes, I will face it with calm, with strength, with presence. And until then, I choose peace. Because trust is not weakness. Trust is the ultimate strength. And that is the final cure for worry. If you're still here, then I know one thing for sure. You didn't come here just to watch a video. You came here to find something that no one ever gave you. Relief, peace, a way out of the noise. And I hope, with everything in my heart, that this video gave that to you. Let me tell you something very honestly. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not behind. You're just someone with a strong mind. A mind that tries to protect you too much. But you are stronger than your thoughts. You are wiser than your fear. And you are bigger than your worry. Let's remember these forever. Worry is not reality. It's a storm in your imagination. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who watches them pass. The mind will always overreact. But you don't have to follow it. Peace is not a feeling. It's a skill, a practice, a choice. Trust is the bridge between this moment and the future. And you can build it, brick by brick, starting today. You don't have to solve everything today. You just need to breathe, trust, and take one calm step at a time. And if tomorrow comes with new fears, you'll meet them with the wisdom of this video. You're not alone. You're not powerless. You are ready. Let the worry go. Let the peace in, and let your life begin. Again. Thank you for watching this video. If this helped you, please help someone else and share it. And remember, every time you feel like worry is winning, come back to this video. Let it reset your mind. Let it reconnect you to your power. Tell us in the comments, which truth changed your life the most? Subscribe for more life-changing videos like this. We're not here to impress. We're here to help you heal, grow, and become unstoppable. This is your safe place. This is your new beginning. And this is your time. We believe in you. Now go live without fear.